Welcome to the Will Studios. I'm Will, and let's draw Spider-Man. Doing what, though? Because he could be swinging at us, you know? That's a lot of the times what I wind up drawing him doing, you know? Stop saying, you know. They don't know. They don't know what goes on inside. I could draw him like a cat. Like, it's when he would have his legs coming up like this, because his hips would be down here, shoulders are like that. You can have his other hand coming up at you. Shooting a web up. Focus on the knee there. Spider-Man, you gotta stretch his anatomy a little bit just to make him look awesome, because the point is for it not to make like perfect sense. Or to make something ridiculous make sense, you know. Spider-Man has like the skeleton of a cat. But I saw the original Spider-Man on Netflix, and I got a little nostalgic for the simpler times. The beginning, because this was what, 2002? What year was this? 2002. And it was one of the first pirated movies I ever got as a kid. I had it on a CD-ROM. My buddy Steve down the block, who I went to school with, made a copy for me, because he was the kid who actually knew how to like torrent things. I would just say that I did, and then ask him. So if that leg's here, the other one's got to be out here, or like kicked up here. Ooh, that looks kind of cool. Like he would be, like the next movement. Ooh, that's not what I want. Just move that leg around a little bit. Right there. Gotta remember to follow my rules and stretch it out a little bit, because it should logically, if he moved like a normal human, like be out here. So let's just bring it up and kick it out a little more. And that would look cool. But that original Spider-Man movie holds up. I hope it does. I'm watching it right now. I wasn't a huge fan. Well, it starts slow. It really establishes Peter as a simp, okay, for Mary Jane Watson. And in the comic book, when they introduced Mary Jane, it was Aunt May's friend's daughter, and they were trying to set him up. So it's almost like Pete was getting set up with this strangely hot girl who had the hots for him for no real reason. Uh, which I guess in the 60s that was just, that was every boy's fantasy to just have a freaking hot chick gifted to you by your grandmother, I guess, or your aunt. Good old Aunt May looking out for Pete. Let's just go with this pose for him. But freaking, you had Willem Dafoe as your villain. That was awesome. Alright, so that'll be our Spider-Man pose. Get rid of this guy. Up here. How close is he to the street here? Where is he? How big should he be? In the frame. Let's just frame him out a little bit here. With some buildings. Should we tilt the buildings like this? A little bit. Maybe like one of these buildings is up here. Let's say right, just going like that, I think. And so let's angle the buildings like that. How about we just have the one building behind him like that? It's generic building action. We're building generic buildings. Did I not freaking select the new layer? Dude, this is the best scene right here. Hold on a second.
Be dead.
Oscorp will be
Sometimes
dead.
You gotta do things
2
yourself.
weeks.
Get me the promochloroparacine.
For what?
It begins catalyzation when the vapor hits the bloodstream.
40,000 years
Oh
of
my, am I
evolution,
drawing
we barely even
Goblin
glimpsed
up
the
here?
vastness of human potential.
Draw a low-res goblin on his glider, chasing after him.
It's cold.
Yeah. Let's have a building here, right? And then a building here. There we go. Alright, so now that the building this building will be like farther away, and then we'll do another one in the foreground. So, whatever.
Norman?
Put like a sign up here.
Norman!
Turn the AC to, There's part of me that's like, well, what neighborhood's he going through? What's going on? You know?
Norman!
But I gotta ignore
Norman!
that and just
Norman!
sort of keep the pen moving, because I'm gonna put a rough idea down, and then I'll work on, okay, the angles, the textures. This is like just a generic building. Focus on Spider-Man. Focus on Spider-Man goes right back to doing the buildings. Alright. So. I think. My eye line is down there. Drawing this building like a shoebox. Marvel at the shoebox buildings of New York City. In Marvel's Spider-Man. Let's put the street level actually like down here. That has kind of a funky quality to it, right? Nah, it has to be lower than that. It has to be like here. It'll be like a shoebox building right next to like a more modern sort of building. Never noticed you had blue eyes before, Peter. You've just been gazing at me from a distance this whole time. There's really no way the ground could be there. Anyway, whatever. I'll just cut that part off. Kick his ass, man. I don't know, whatever, I'm done with the buildings. Spider-Man's got a big head. Because Peter's real smart. And some people draw him with like more of a square draw. I kind of like the way Todd McFarlane did it, where he's like more angular and like intense looking when he's in the costume. The eyes, if you get the eyes right, then everything else will follow. I'm going to give him like pointier points up here. And you basically, here, let me add a new underdrawing here. If we map this guy out, I'm going to put like a circle for where the front of his head is, right? And so now we know where the brows are. And his nose is going to be like right there. So from there, I'm just thinking about that top shape and that bottom shape. That looks alright. Just smooth it out a little bit. So, we don't see too much of his neck before it goes into that shoulder muscle. And his shoulder blades are like all the way down here, pretty much. Because his spine's back there. And we can give him a little extra muscles. You know what I mean? Just to flaunt the rules. Make him extra sinewy. Now that you beat the shit out of my boyfriend, like, what are you up to? What do you want to do? I want to move to the city. My question is, does keeping it, like, in the corner like that without any volume, does that save me from the copyright violations, or are they going to fine me? Let's make it see even less of what's going on. How's that? Netflix. Don't come after me. Please. So, I'm going to start by thinking of his fingers kind of like sausages and then work from there. So I forgot I had his other shoulder, like, down here. Alright, there we go. So... I love some characters that have, like, different rules for drawing them. Like I was talking about with Spider-Man, giving him that extra, like, elasticity in his muscles, because he's swinging around all the time, you know? And it really adds to the aesthetic. Like, a lot of, like, Batman's another one, where the aesthetic is more important than the actual reality. Now, do we give him boots or booties? I'm on the side of, like, booty, you know? Because he needs to be able to stick to the wall with his feet. It honestly bothers me sometimes I see Spider-Man drawn, like, with boots, or somebody's, like, supposed to stick to walls and he's wearing boots. Like, come on. He doesn't have chakra. He's not Naruto. Alright? Spider-Man. They really did a great job, like, humanizing the characters in these old movies. You know, back in the 2000s, back before Hollywood felt like they really needed to hit you with an action scene off the bat or try to make it, like, funny right away. And we got away from the heart of a lot of these characters. And nowadays, you watch a Spider-Man movie and they just assume you know the backstory. Like, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is, like, some of the most self-referential, like, Spider-Man material. And, it was like Uncle Ben dying is like a multiversal, like, thing. I just want to get back to Spider-Man. And I'm glad we have the old stuff. We can just watch the old stuff. Like, this is good. That foot big enough? That foot needs to be bigger. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. put his webbing on another layer for you, like the costume webbing. So I'm gonna tone this.
Is there no one here man enough to stay in the ring for 3 minutes with this titan of testosterone? Who? I know. The Flying Dutchman!
Next. There's no featherweight division here, small fry. Next.
No, sign me up.
Okay. You understand the NYWL is not responsible for any injury you may and probably will sustain while participating in said event, and you are indeed participating under your own free will?
Yes.
Down the hall to the ramp. May God be with you. Next.
Are you ready for more? Will the next victim please enter the arena at this time? If he can withstand just 3 minutes in the cage, with Bonesaw McGraw, the sum of $3,000 will be paid to.
What's your name, kid?
The human spider.
The human spider, that's it? That's the best you got?
It's the human spider.
Sucks.
The sum of $3,000 will be paid to the terrifying, the deadly, the amazing Spider-Man!
My name's the human spider.
I don't care. Get out there.
No, he got my name wrong.
Get
you gotta
out
tell
there,
him.
you moron.
Bonesaw's gonna eat you up and spit you out, little man. I hope you brought your mommy with you. We're gonna break you in someone to go crying. I'm gonna rip all 8 of your feet legs of yours off one by one.
Oh my God! Oh my legs! Oh God! I can't feel my legs.
Get him, Bonesaw! Rest in peace to the great Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Doors at this time.
They really did Peter a favor with this cage.
I didn't sign up for a cage match. Hey!
And what's he even worried about? The cage is going to make it even easier for him.
Freak show! You're going nowhere! I got you for 3 minutes! 3 minutes of lead time! Ah! What are you doing up there?
Staying away from you. That's a cute outfit. Did your husband give it to you?
See, if I was Bonesaw, after I saw Spider-Man out there in public, I'd be like, this dude fucked me up. I'm pressing charges. He's a superhero, goddammit. I didn't know what I was getting into.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the new champion, Spider-Man!
It's going to be a new era here in Basement New York Wrestling with me as your champion.
Now get out of here.
with my money. Cold, Pete. It's cold. Vader. Vader. Is he perfect? No. No, he's not. But I accept him as one of my Spider-Man drawings. Why don't you fight it with your armored spacesuit? The military could have had an army of goblins. You know, when he's totally webbed up like that, when you finish the webs, you can't not look badass. Like, I scribbled most of this, and I feel like it looks pretty badass. Now, there were my scribbles. They were very high quality scribbles. For sure. But still. Well, just gonna do this quickly. I don't want to spend too much time on the buildings. I liked it when Peter was humble, because they ended up turning his freaking dad into a super spy or some shit. That always bugged me. It's just... Fade some stuff in the most lazy way possible. You know what? That's probably good for this picture, honestly. He's a menace. He's a criminal. Should I do tubes? That's gotta be the top. Hey, why you ashamed to be a waitress? It's fine. Look, you're 19. I just want to add some texture to the web, you know? I'm not trying to rip anybody like McFarlane did, where it was like it wrapped around itself as it shot out. But I always imagine it like hardening a little bit, like a filament. Alright. Let's wrap this up. All right. I'm going to call that done. You know, for the low standards I've set so far for myself here, I'm going to say that's pretty good for an hour. Thanks for tuning in, and go watch Spider-Man. It holds up, man.
He was protecting
Menace.
that armored
Tell
car.
you what, Atticus, you take the pictures, I'll make up the headlines, okay? All right? That okay with you?
Yes, sir.
You're not going to get a better J. Jonah
Listen,
Jameson than
girl
that
up front,
guy.
just so you get paid.
You're just not.
I'd like a job, sir.
No jobs. Freelance.
And they're going to
Best thing in
put,
the world for a
you
kid
know,
your age.
Perry White's
You bring
just
me
a
some more
freaking
shots
rip-off
of that
Jonah
newspaper
Jameson, in
selling
my
clown,
opinion.
Maybe I'll take him off your hands.
Maybe Perry came
But I never
first,
said
but
you have a job.
Jonah perfected the art.
Meat. I'll send you a nice box of Christmas meat. Best I can do. Get out of here.
All right, get out of here.